Hey, welcome back to the exclusive reading. My name is Shawn Hart, and I am co author of Private Label Millionaire Secrets. So, as you know, if you've been watching the stream, I intend to go through each page, page by page, word for word, chapter by chapter in the book that has now been acclaimed as one of the best kept secrets for Amazon sellers around the world. So today is Sunday. Looks like it's September 3rd. Tomorrow is my youngest son, Moses. He's going to be 15 years old. Tomorrow's his birthday. Unbelievable. I'm in my home studio in central Indiana, and I'm going to jump into chapter number two. Chapter number two's title is The Easiest Way to Create Sales. So, here's the reason why we wrote this chapter. A lot of our colleagues seem to go out and try to reinvent the wheel, meaning we're trying to find a product that we believe is a great idea. We falsely assume that we are our own customer. And then because we like this product or we're quote unquote passionate about a product, then we try to take it to market. Well, we believe that's backwards. And the reason I say that's because all of my biggest wins, my biggest, most successful product launches have come from flipping the script. We first identify a market, like we talked about in the preface in the chapter one, identify a market or a starving crowd, if you will, and simply give people what they already want to buy. And this is an important building block as we go through Private Label Millionaire Secrets, because when it comes to launching a product, getting it right is often difficult, but it doesn't have to be difficult, right? And if you can avoid making the mistake of launching the wrong product, then you can save yourself a lot of grief, a lot of headache, a lot of money, and a lot of time and energy. So that's why I say find the starving crowd first. So this chapter two in Private Label Millionaire Secrets, there are going to be a couple of images in there, but I'm going to jump into this, and this is the easiest way to create sales. So if you want to create sales, you're streaming on Facebook, I see you, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Twitter. Go ahead, feel free to comment, post your comments if you have questions. Then I'll jump into those questions. But without further ado, let's get into chapter number two, the easiest way to create sales. And it starts with a quote by Shawn Hart. So the quote is, reading from the book, if you want to make a lot of easy sales, simply give people what they already want. And that's what this is all about. This is about finding a starving crowd and hitching your wagon to it and just simply giving consumers what it is they already want to buy. It's so much easier. Your marketing, your salesmanship, all of your funnel creation becomes a lot easier if you simply follow the rule of give people what they want to buy. Don't try to convince me to buy something that I don't want to buy. Rather, give me something that I already want. And then you don't have to be a great salesman. All you have to do is present me with an offer that is unbelievable, an offer that I would literally stop what I'm doing and take action on. So back to the book. It was 2014 when we were at the Del Mar Fair in San Diego County, California. It felt like eye heater all over again. We were at the back of a very large crowd that was swarming one particular booth. People were walking away from the booth with armfuls of bamboo pillows, just as they had done with the miracle heaters in 2008. This time was a little different, though. It was now 2014, and a lot of sales were moving online. So we pulled out our phones and checked Amazon to see what the market looked like. There was nothing, not one listing for this hot product on Amazon. So imagine this. It was Seth and I. We were at Del Mar Fair, which is on West Coast, San Diego County, and it's this large fair, like a state fair for Southern California, where a lot of vendors are coming in selling their products. So we just make a beeline directly for the exposition hall. What we're looking for is a starving crowd, and we found one. There were hundreds and hundreds of people who were purchasing this stupid product called a bamboo pillow. I had no idea what it was, but as a marketer and a mind that's always open to new ideas and new opportunities, of course, I'm going to find it out. Back to the book. There was an opportunity and there was demand, but no one was serving this starving crowd on Amazon. That would soon change. We've seen this scenario play out time and time again over the years. You can identify demand in one market and then take it to an entirely different group of people or different platforms online. This is about being able to keep your eyes open and spot opportunities where others are missing it. There were so many people in the crowd buying pillows that day, but none of them saw the opportunity. With the right product at the right time and the right market, business is easy. All you have to do is identify the starving crowd and feed them. That's why we say to make business easy, just give people what they already want. And this crowd was speaking for the masses. They were screaming, I want this, and voting yes with their credit cards. Gary Halbert once told a story of a marketing challenge. Now, I digress here for a moment. If you've never heard of the late, great Gary Halbert, I think he passed in 2009 or 2008, I believe. He was a marketing king back in the day for copywriting and direct response marketing. I highly, highly recommend that. Go ahead and bookmark this on your computer. Go to thegaryhalbertletters.com. The Gary Halbert, Halbert, the Gary Halbert Letters.com. And if you're like me and you love marketing and you love opportunity and you like to see what makes people, what compels buyers to take action and spend money with you, then you'll be completely taken, blown away by the Gary Halbert letters. I literally read every single one, start to finish, after I sold a business several years ago. And I was so concerned that the heirs of Gary Halbert, who's now passed, Bond and Kevin Halbert, were going to take these letters down and make this site a pay site, that I called my printer, Chris Shetley in Indianapolis, and I said, hey, go to this URL. I want you to download and print for me and bind every single Gary Halbert letter and bring it to my office. So a few days later, he brought me this huge box, which I just unloaded yesterday for the several times now when I moved my junk around. And it's one of my most prized possessions, because one of these days when someone decides to take that site down, I have every single Gary Halbert letter printed and bound in these huge spiral notebooks. All right, back to the story. Gary Halbert once told a story of a marketing challenge. The story is about two fictional burger joints. He says to his competitor, I'll give you all the advantages you want to open a burger joint, and if you'll just let me choose one advantage, I can beat you hands down. The naive burger salesman replies, okay, give me the best corner in town, the tallest, the brightest attention getting sign, the best ingredients, the best chef, the best looking menu, the best prices, a good looking waitress, and I'll win. Done, says Gary. I'll outsell you 10-1 with one single advantage. What is that advantage? Asked the newbie. Give me a starving crowd, bellows Gary, followed by a belly laugh that would make Santa Claus jealous. This is the secret that Gary knew. When serving a starving crowd, you can ask higher prices, offer poor service, bad tasting products, and set up in the seediest locations. But you'll always sell out. Just imagine what a starving crowd paired with a great product and service will do. Starving crowds are easy to see if you're looking for them. Just a few months before, we had started our latest private label business, this time on Amazon. My mind flashes back to earlier that year when our whole world changed. We attended an event in Aruba, and we had no business attending this event. The cost to be in this high level mastermind was $14,000 per person. One of the guys that we met there, Xander Cole, told us that his net worth goal within the next 3 years was $300 million. This level of thinking was in a different realm that we had been used to. We had set our personal 5-year goal at $5 million, and we were thinking that we were going to be big deals. What happened next is what woke me up, okay? A few weeks after that event, Xander called us, bursting with excitement. He had just sat down with an Amazon seller in Dallas, Texas, doing more than $10 million per month. No way, I said. Show me. And this image that you can see here, this is the image of what Xander Cole sent to us. This image opened our minds to what was truly possible in our private label business and helped us raise the bar when we were writing our annual goals. So he did. He proceeded to send us the screenshot that I just shared with you of a real seller account doing more than $10 million on Amazon in just 30 days, and it was all private label. This was our 4-minute mile moment. This proved how big of an opportunity this really was. We had found our starving crowd at last. It was Amazon, all of it, and we were getting ready to tap in. All we had to do was figure out what they wanted. It now seems simple. Just take the pillow product that we found at the Del Mar Fair and bring it to the Amazon platform. Call it serendipity or call it luck, whatever you call it. It was a magical moment that tied it all back together for us. You see what I'm talking about here? For those of you that are joining me late, my name is Shawn Hart, co-author of Private Label Millionaire Secrets, available on Amazon, of course. And this series of recordings, I'm going through and breaking down each individual chapter of the book. I'm going to read word for word, page by page, chapter by chapter, answer your questions that you guys are posting in here. Like Tanvir says, "Hey, Shawn, looking good in white." Thank you, brother. Good to see you in here today. And if you have questions or if I want to elaborate a little bit on one of the topics, I'm going to go off on a tangent and teach you exactly what we were thinking when we wrote this. Back to the book. Just take the pillow product that we found at the Del Mar Fair and bring it to the Amazon platform. So, like the eye heater, we needed to find inventory and find it fast. We had placed some orders in China, but the inventory was slow moving and would take at least 90 days to arrive. What should we do? Quit working and wait for China to catch up? Heck no, the show must go on. Seth started working immediately on creating a professional Amazon listing while Shawn went on a hunt to find some stock. Ryan Stearns, who actually wrote one of the peer reviews in the beginning of this book, maybe you'll remember, Ryan Stearns, one of Shawn's friends, informed Shawn that a guy named Mo had several containers of similar pillows in Fontana, California, just outside of Los Angeles, and that his price was pretty decent. The problem was his pillows were branded Hotel Comfort. Shout out to you, Muhammad Al-Shaban, also known as Mo, for hooking us up with your amazing Hotel Comfort bamboo pillow. Here's what we did. Shawn rounded up some troops, including a close confidant, the late David Hapner, God rest his soul. What a wonderful friend and wonderful human he was. The plan was to take a private jet and fly out to Los Angeles with $150,000 in cash to purchase wholesale pillows from Mo. David would find a warehouse to rent for a week, hire a team, and repackage all of the pillows before sending them to Amazon FBA. Let me just paint this picture for you. So we found the starving crowd. We knew that we could sell the pillow, but we didn't want to wait several weeks or a few months to get product in from China. So we went and we bought the product sideways, an existing product in the marketplace. Problem was they were under his brand. We needed our brand. So this is what we did. We had to open all of the cases, open each individual pillow, cut off the wash tag, the instructional tag that showed the brand name. And then we repackaged the pillows into plain clear bags, reboxed the cases, and loaded the pallets back onto a waiting truck to be taken to Amazon's warehouse. This right here is a picture of my late friend, Mr. David Hapner. God bless you. He was supervising the operations in Fontana. And then if you look at this crazy mess right here, here's a wide angle shot of the mess, right, that David created while relabeling about 20,000 pillows. We then began to scramble, thinking about all of the opportunities that, we then began to scramble, thinking about all of the opportunities. We didn't have to be the best product in the beginning. All we really needed to do was give people what they already wanted to buy, and an amazing new private label journey began. What is this book really about? I'm not sure how this happened for you, but every successful business owner I know began with a dream and an idea. Maybe that's you. Maybe you began to struggle with the idea of trading time for money. Maybe you saw that you will never realize your dreams living a 9-to-5 life. Maybe for you, something finally tripped a switch in your brain that told you there could be more. Maybe you really could start a business and be successful. For us, there were two different stories. In fact, just yesterday, I'm in my hometown where I grew up in Rushville, Indiana, tiny little speck on the map. Shout out to Rushville for that. I see some of the people streaming on Facebook are probably from this little town. But my two boys, Cash and Moses. Moses turns 15 tomorrow. Cash is a young 16. They have this big sack. Maybe you saw me posted on Facebook a few weeks ago when I was in New York. I bought them a bunch of these knockoff Oakley sunglasses. We call them Jokley sunglasses, just to be funny. Not real authentic Oakleys, but just lookalikes, just for fun for them to go out and pedal. Well, Moses got all excited yesterday because they had this they had a like a little concert going on down by the river, I think it's called Riverside Arena or something like that, downtown Rushville. There was a huge crowd there. Moses said, "Hey guys," he's got a couple of friends over, right? He tells Eli and Kevin, he's like, "Let's take these sunglasses down there and sell them." So they go down there, and Moses quickly calls me, after I dropped him off. He says, "Hey, Dad, these guys chickened out." He said, "Kevin says he doesn't want to look stupid," and Eli literally ran away in embarrassment. But he said, "I'm out here hustling these glasses, and they want to leave, so can you come get us?" And I said, "Moses, it's fine. They're your buddies. Just let them do what they want to do. Not everybody's cut out to be an entrepreneur. Not everybody's comfortable selling. They'll make great employees for you someday, hopefully. Kind of joking, but you understand. Maybe for you, you've tried to start a business. Maybe you want to start a business. Maybe you've invented this product. You want to try to patent the product, and this is something that's been this burning desire for you. But for Seth, my co-author, and I, there were two different stories. Back to the book. For Seth, the desire for more was there almost from birth. I didn't want normal, and I definitely didn't want to endure the 12-hour days of factory work that my dad did since he was 17 years old, says Seth. Sometimes it's easier to see what you don't want than to see the grand vision for your life. All I knew was that I wanted to own a business. I wanted to own my future, admits Seth. For me, for Shawn, the motivation was to escape being another statistic and being trapped in an environment where growth was limited. Well, I grew up surrounded by a family of factory workers and employees, but my father, Raymond Hart, had carved out a decent living in the 1980s as an independent insurance agent. Through limited exposure to my father's insurance business, I began to see the opportunity of creating recurring sales. And I created my very first real business with employees at age 16 while in high school here in Rushville, actually, selling roses on the street in a van. Now, check this out. The truth is stranger than fiction, but this is an actual picture of my van that was used in the first real business with employees. This was taken in Muncie, Indiana, most likely like 1992, by an old friend, Rowdy Embry, who may be watching this today. Shout out to you, Rowdy. Some of us discover entrepreneurship through unique means like personal relationship, books or stories, pure curiosity, or personality that is attracted to the unknown. Some of you have begun your journey with a franchise, or maybe you purchased a course on entrepreneurship or a unique business opportunity. Or maybe you just began with the fortitude to say, screw it all and go all in and bet on the come. Maybe you made it work too. Most of us will open up shop with the idea of fulfilling a need. Sometimes this need may originate with us personally. We feel a strong pull to give back by satisfying this need for others. However you began, we all had a basic need to create something bigger than ourselves and hopefully obtain so-called financial freedom. Maybe like Seth and I, you thought that owning a business would be your biggest accomplishment or final destination, when in reality, it's just the beginning. Shawn says, when I first moved out of my parents' house, I began to zealously pursue the opening of my first store, the Treasure Chest, and hiring my first employee. I naively assumed that if I build it, they will come. I soon realized that I had a long way to go if I wanted to have a successful business. It's hilarious. I still remember those days. 134 West 2nd Street, right down there in downtown Rushville. I rented a little store from Dan Green and Green's Photography. Cost me $125 a month back in the 90s. And I had a store in the front, a pool hall in the center, and a 2-bedroom apartment in the back. It was pretty cool. Here we go. We have a comment here. Wish I was Mark Cuban. That's funny. Says, I guess you're not Mark Cuban. So we'll just say hello. Hello back to you guys. Thanks for joining us today. For those of you joining late, my name's Shawn Hart. I'm going through page by page the book that I co-authored last year with my co-author Seth Stevens, and I'm breaking down some of these stories and answering some of the questions that you might have. Feel free to post in LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube. That's where that last comment came from. So I opened this store called the Treasure Chest. I sunk all of my nest egg, my life savings into this store, thinking it was going to, if I build it, they'll come, Well, I had a lot to learn. I ended up holding that building for several years. I just went back last summer and tried to purchase it from the guy, local retired fireman here in Rushville, owns the building now. I was like, I'd like to buy that building for my son. He's not ready to sell it. So something changes there, I'll let you all know. But it was a good experience for me. Back to the book. Just because you're passionate about a subject or product doesn't mean you know anything about succeeding in business. This may come as a surprise to a lot of newbies, but to be successful in any business means you have to find customers who are willing to give you money in exchange for your product or service. Sales, excuse me. You're trading your value for your customers' dollars. Now, just because we're passionate about something and we're hanging out our shingle announcing a grand opening doesn't mean we're going to be successful. The only difference between a business and a hobby is an exchange of value for goods. So maybe you're working something, you believe you're in business, you're not making any money, you're not making any sales. That's just a hobby. If you enjoy it and you're not making money, that's all it is, an expensive hobby. But the difference is an exchange of value for goods. I give you something of value, you pay me in return. The only way to create this exchange is to make an offer. But what is an offer anyway? An offer is what starts the process of turning the value for our customers into profits. The offer is the value that your customer is choosing to trade their dollars for. To sum it up, an offer contains two components. One, what you will provide, and two, how much will it cost your customer? If you don't have an offer, you don't have a business. Think about it like this: the more hungry your crowd is, the less valuable your offer has to be, and vice versa. Now, once you know exactly how to create amazing offers that we call mafia offers, and how to find a starving market that you can feed, you can create life changing amounts of money in the process. As you can probably guess, we've created thousands of offers since we first started and have tried to serve thousands of different crowds with our offers. What we're sharing with you in this book is how we finally found to be the winning formula for matching a winning offer with a starving crowd. And that's what it's all about. You have a product or service, you have a crowd, you make an offer to the crowd. Hopefully they're willing to exchange dollars for that offer. Hopefully this makes sense. Back to the book. From the outside, it could look like luck, but we know now that there is a formula behind the madness. This book, Private Label Millionaire Secrets, is the distillation of only the best concepts and strategies that we've discovered over the 51 years of combined experience and 14 years of tapping into like minded colleagues with similar goals. Here's the big problem with offers, okay? Hopefully, you can understand or maybe relate to this. We've identified four big problems that you'll run into on your journey to becoming a private label millionaire. What are the four main problems? One, you have to be able to identify a starving crowd opportunity. Second, you have to be able to create a mafia offer. Third, you need to generate revenue. Finally, number four, you need to have enough cash to keep up with the growing inventory demands. So identifying the starving crowd may seem simple enough, but this is where almost everyone gets hung up. Most people want to start with a product and then try to find the market to sell it to. This is actually backwards from what we've used to attain massive success. If you don't know exactly who you plan to sell to and you can't clearly define who your audience is, then you have no business launching a private label product. It may seem strange, but think about it first. The U.S. Patent Office is drowning in patents issued for a better mousetrap. After all, only 2 to 3% of all patented products ever make it to market, according to Entrepreneur Magazine. It's 1,000 times easier to first identify a market that's already hungry and then supply that market with a product that fits their needs. We've seen entrepreneurs look for the perfect opportunity for years, but then struggle to create the perfect offer. Once you've identified your starving crowd opportunity, you still have to create a mafia offer, an offer that cannot be ignored, so you win every time. And you would be amazed, my friend, at how many times I've preached this over and over and over, but everyone seems to want to find a better mousetrap and then go figure out how to sell it. Stop the insanity. Just go find a starving crowd, a market that's rabid for new products and new services, and tap into it. It's like literally lowering your bucket into a raging river and pulling out gold every single time. Don't go try to dig a well, just tap into a well that's already there. Hopefully that makes sense. Back to the book. What's challenging is most of us immediately assume that the price alone is our offer and feel the need to compete by lowering the price. Don't do this. When our prospective customers are searching for a solution, they will gravitate toward the cheapest solution only if they are not given enough value for their money. This means you are making a commodity offer and are forced to provide more goods and receive less money. Not good. This problem is normal and to be expected. Don't worry, though, there is a solution. We'll jump right into that. I think chapter 2 of this book is my favorite for this reason. Basic fundamental stepping stones, building blocks for creating a market or an offer that attracts a starving crowd market and make selling easy. Remember the heading of this chapter, the easiest way to create sales. Remember, if you're not creating sales, you just have an expensive hobby. Back to the book. Most business models that you're exposed to are not designed to be profitable from day one. And honestly, most business models aren't great ways for bootstrapping entrepreneurs like us to make money. This is because most business models are created by huge companies who can burn cash for years to acquire market share, like Amazon. As a small business owner, if you were to use a similar, pardon me, my son just sent me a message. As a small business owner, if you were to use a similar business model as Amazon, you would be lucky to break even. By doing this, you're basically creating a full-time job for yourself and working overtime for no pay. I don't know about you, but when I started my entrepreneurial career, I was looking for something more out of life. I didn't want to trade one job for another, one where I worked harder, gave up more, and took more risk, all to make less money. There is a better way. As you study the concepts in this book, keep an open mind and an open eye. We are giving you the shortcut that you can use to get started off on the right path from day one. In our business, we rarely use anything more complicated than basic math, and you won't have to either. But this book's intention is to take you through the steps we took to create many successful businesses throughout our careers. We'll also show you how to position an offer that maximizes its value in your customer's eyes so that your offer becomes the obvious choice. There is a model that we use for every product within every category without fail. What you'll soon see is how quickly things can improve when you apply these strategies to your business. When applied correctly, you'll be empowered to quickly generate enough revenue and cash to support your growth along the way. When you can fund your newfound growth with your customers' money, remember what I did in chapter 1 with the eye heater, when you can fund your newfound growth with your customers' money while providing value, it changes the entire game. Now, we told you the story of the eye heater as an example of many of the skills and strategies you'll be applying to your own private label business. It's important to note that eye heater was self-supporting from go, and we will show you several more ways you can accomplish the same result with your business. The very first order was generated at a profit and created enough cash flow to support itself from day one. How did we do this? We tapped into a market that was already full of a frenzy of buyers. We simply grabbed a share of that market by making a better offer for our product that was already being sought after. We were able to generate enough revenue with high enough profit margins to eliminate the need for us to ever put any cash into that business after that initial $30,000 spent on Google AdWords. Pardon me. And we used a credit card for that first $30,000. For those of you joining me late, my name is Shawn Hart, and I'm going through page by page the book that I co-authored last year, Private Label Millionaire Secrets, giving a little further explanation along the way. Feel free to comment, like, and share. If you comment live, then I can share it with the rest of the folks here streaming this live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn. All right. What you will soon understand is that profits can cure almost anything in your business, including customer acquisition and inventory management. So what's this got to do with you? You're watching this live stream or you're reading this book or listening. Here's what it is. Throughout our business journey, we made almost every mistake imaginable and stubbed our toes while stumbling around in the dark for answers. A smart man learns from his mistakes, while a wise man learns from others' mistakes. Do yourself a favor and choose to be wise and avoid all of the pitfalls that we've identified along the way. This will give you an advantage that we never had. The way we see it, if we can do it, then you can do it too. And this is especially true when you're armed with the strategies and private label millionaire secrets. It is true that not all of our businesses were amazing successes. In fact, our journey started in 1991 and was created out of poverty and necessity. Although we've come a long way, we would never be willing to give up those experiences for anything you could offer. We are such strong believers that if our mistakes can help even one entrepreneur like you avoid the suffering and embarrassments that we've gone through, then it would all have been worth it. Here's the honest truth. If you're willing to put in the time and work that it takes to apply this valuable information, and if you're able to successfully use one strategy that's worked for us, then we can promise that you'll acquire more customers and add more profits to your pocket. Going through these chapters and seriously putting it to work in your business will most likely have a profound positive impact on your business. Rest assured that in the time that it takes to read this book, there is nothing available today that can provide you with better return on your investment in time. Here's a quick note. Creating an amazingly successful private label business can be one of the easiest things you'll ever do in your entrepreneurial journey with the right skills. You will be able to accomplish this. This is not some type of voodoo or ninja hack. This is real life. How you can make millions by selling stuff in the real world. Why am I sharing all the strategies in this book? Is what I'm often asked. Well, we've been blessed with so much success so quickly that it would be shameful not to share the lessons that we've learned with you and others to come. Reducing these lessons to writing makes it easily accessible to everyone and allows us to help you along your own journey. If you'll continue through this simple blueprint for your private label success, my promise is that you'll see more value than you can get from any paid course on entrepreneurship, franchise opportunity, or the next internet marketing scheme. The truth is, we've made our money doing this stuff, not teaching it. And this goes against what you'll find from most gurus in our industry. Our goal in writing this is to be able to network with high achieving entrepreneurs, which also helps to expand our experience and expertise. Let's see what this user says. I saw a pop up here. Oh, a Facebook user says, "This is amazing." Go ahead, tell us who you are. This is amazing. Our goal in writing this, okay, Mark Cuban says, "We're about to launch our first product on Amazon, and like everyone, we think it will be a huge success. We ordered a 20-foot container, 2,352 units. We want to use influencers, Google, Pinterest, and Facebook." So my question to you, wannabe Mark Cuban, is are you tapping into an existing market, or did you just find a Me Too product and said, hey, I think I can make this work? Let's see what he says. The problem is we have a lot of sales. We'll run out of stock, and it takes 120 days to produce and ship the product. What do we do when we run out of stock? Because if you run out of stock on Amazon, I've heard you may never get your ranking back. Thanks for your advice and reading this awesome book. So, want to be Mark Cuban? Number one, I would create a standalone website using a page builder like ClickFunnels, and I would create a scenario where you could do pre-orders for your product. I'll tell you a quick story before we get back to the book here, just to answer your question, and I appreciate your engagement here. So, I launched a product called Slim Tread back in 2016, I believe it was. The product was on a slow boat from China, and I wanted to get some traction before we got things started. So I created an offer, a mafia offer, if you will, where I advertised this thing on Facebook and some other social media posts. And I said, look, this product is $800. If you want to get in, you can pre-order this with a $39 refundable deposit. And then if you pre-order for a $39 refundable deposit, then we will ship your order when it arrives, and you can cancel for a refund at any time. So for me, now I would never go back and do the same thing that I did with the eye heater and collect the money up front, wait 9 weeks for delivery. You probably can't get away with that anymore. But you can do a pre-order deposit. So if you want to launch the product before it actually arrives, create a website, create a simple funnel page. We use ClickFunnels for that, but there are several out there. You can use WordPress or any number of page builders, and basically create an offer that says, here's the product. We're not going to have it in stock until whatever, end of October, but you can pre-order now with a refundable deposit. And when you do it that way, what you're doing is allowing yourself to capture some of those sales and be able to use that customer's revenue to fund your growth. Second part of your question, stocking out on Amazon is a sin. If you create some ranking and you get some momentum and juice flowing on Amazon, and all of a sudden you run out of stock, it's true, you may have to quote unquote relaunch to get that inventory or get that ranking going again. What I would do is use a company that we partner with called SKUDrop, SKUDROP. Contact SKUDrop.com and tell Michael over there, one of the founders, that I sent you, Shawn Hart sent me, and he can show you how to do what's called just-in-time inventory from China. Assuming if you're doing a 20-foot container, it's probably coming from Asia. And what they will do is they'll warehouse your product for you in Asia and then ship it directly to Amazon by the pallet load so that you always have stock. because the hardest weight is from the factory to the seaport in the US, getting through customs and then getting into Amazon. So if you don't want to stock out, get some product on the way, launch on your private website first using social media, collect some pre-order deposits to help fund your inventory and your growth, and then contact SKU Drop. I'll just go ahead and put that in here now. I think I can do it. Oh, I have the wrong keyboard here. I'm like typing in the book. So this is what you want to do, skewdrop.com. Let's see if that works. Boom, skewdrop.com. This is what you want to do. Go ahead and share that on Facebook as well. There you go. Hopefully that helps. Make sure I don't have any more. ClickFunnels is amazing, says Facebook user. Yes. Thank you for all your engagement, guys. Let's get back to the book here, and then I'll hang out here and answer some more questions. Now, by reading this book, we are confident that once you've gone through your new blueprint to private label success, you'll become the exact type of entrepreneur that we'd like to network with. Try a few of these strategies, watch them work in your business, and then test a few more and watch those work. The more you try it, the more results you'll see. Our wish is to provide tremendous value and to show you the easy path to private label millions, but don't take my word for it yet. We've only just begun. Please don't make the mistake of thinking that your business is different. In truth, all businesses are different, but I'm certain that the fundamentals we're sharing with you here will work for you as well as they have for us. How can we say this? Because we're watching it work in our businesses and our paid clients' businesses each and every day. The difference for you, you get to learn from all our mistakes. You'll only be doing what's already been proven to work and avoiding unnecessary failures. This will significantly raise the likelihood of your success. At this moment, and this book was written January 15th, 2022, okay? At this moment, January 15th, 2022, we've collectively sold over $153 million worth of our own private label products and have seen huge exits in 17 private label businesses and counting. We sold 17 businesses, okay? Here are the numbers according to our personal experience since 2014. We've been exposed to thousands of online brands selling both physical and digital products over the last several years. From our perspective, we have seen over 50% of those new businesses fail within the first year. Of that 50%, though, only about 3% of those make it to $10 million per year in revenue, and only a tiny fraction of the 3% grow to $100 million in revenue or above. So the likelihood of a random business becoming successful and profitable every single time for the last 7 years is pretty low, right? So since we've been able to repeatedly launch successful businesses time and again, this is not random. It is not luck. It is a process. We can say this with confidence and conviction that we know what we're doing. So if you follow in our footsteps, you'll have a great chance to recreate the success that we've seen. It's not magic. What we are doing is using fundamentally good business tactics and constantly raising the bar to achieve further success, and you can too. Not a day goes by that Shawn doesn't mentally go back to the time when his wife woke him up in the middle of the night, frantically asking why her credit cards were being declined, because that was the start of it all. What continues to drive our success? It's a hunger from our childhood, a hunger for wanting more from life. Even though it's not required anymore, what we have found is that the journey itself is the reward. This is what drives us every single day. It keeps us hungry as private label entrepreneurs and keeps us always looking for the next win. Even though we are forever grateful from the security that we now enjoy, we're constantly reminded of Peter Drucker's quote, "The best way to predict the future is to create it." There is no destination. It's just the journey. That journey is the mold where we as people are forged into what we are meant to be. It's an addiction in a way. We want to constantly be growing and finding new ways to bring value to the world and profit. There's no turning back from here. So let's get started and jump in more, shall we? This book's basic outline. This book should be treated as a tool. As a tool, it should be something that you not only read through, but something that you keep close at hand so that you can reference it again and again as needed. Now, we hope that you too find its content so valuable that it earns a permanent spot on your bookshelf like it does mine, so you can look up its information when you need it to push your business forward. This is not some dress rehearsal where we are practicing for perfection. This is the real thing. And as an entrepreneur, whether new or experienced, you have work to do. And anytime you're working, you need tools. May the pages of this book become part of those tools. Now, that concludes chapter 2. Now, the next time we meet up on here, could be tomorrow, could be another day, we're going to jump into chapter 3, which is called Finding Your Starving Crowd. And you're going to love that. So, for those of you joining late here, this is the conclusion of chapter 2. My name is Shawn Hart. I'm the co founder of Post Purchase Pro and co author of this amazing book, Private Label Millionaire Secrets, that can show you how to find your starving crowd and create a mafia offer. I love sharing. I want to say God bless you. Thank you for joining me live. I'm going to go now and enjoy some more family time. I hope to see you. If you found this contents of this video and this stream useful, do yourself a favor, do me a favor, do the world a favor, share it with other entrepreneurs or someone you think may find it meaningful. I want to thank you for spending the time with me, and I want to thank you for helping me create work that I find meaningful. God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow or a few days after. Take care. And one last comment. Thanks, Shawn. I appreciate your advice. And no, it's not a Me Too product. We think we have an amazing differentiation that solves a very serious problem to keep young kids and even pets safe. All right, it sounds amazing. I wish you the best. Want to be Mark Cuban, signing off from Central Indiana. Hope to see you all in the real near future. Take care and enjoy your long holiday weekend, everyone.